Hello, hello, hello. Please come in and announce yourself as you come in. We are going to talk about some very interesting missing persons cases today. And I'd appreciate a like, a subscribe, and then remember to set those notifications for all so that you can know when I go live every time. Going to give everybody a minute to come on in here. And find my way around. Uh-oh. No one's in here yet. I need to see everybody. Come on in. Hello, hello, hello. I'm going to show 50 million screens, so good luck to me. Do we have any more people in here yet? Has everybody joined in yet? Hello? Do I have anybody in here? Anybody? Come on in. Come join me. Make sure that you say hello when you come in, please. I want to know who's here so I can properly say hello to you. Today, I would like to discuss 3 missing persons cases. Hello, Melly. 3 very important missing persons. And I find it very interesting because they've all 3 gone missing within an hour's drive of each other. An hour. They were done a few months apart. Let's see, October, 5 months apart each. No. Okay, the randomness of when they've gone missing. But let's see if I can figure out how to share my screen. I did a quick short yesterday in regards to Yvonne Mullican. And Yvonne went missing. She's from Prescott, Arizona. And she went missing on April 4th, or was last seen, but she was last seen in Prescott Valley. And Prescott Valley is actually closer to the other 2 young ladies. But oddly enough, almost a month later, on May 1st, her car was found. And her car was found just outside of a place called Strawberry, Arizona. But the closest civilization is at least 10 miles away. There might be some houses in the middle of the forest where I was, but I did not see anything at all. If you are interested, I will show the video of the area where we drove through. It was quite interesting. And what I will say about Yvonne is the Prescott Valley Police Department is asking for help to locate a missing person. Her name is Yvonne Mullican, and she is a 66-year-old woman. And she left her home on April 4th with her 2 dogs in a 2012 silver Kia Sorento. It had a bumper sticker reading, "God be with you." And her license plate actually read license plate, which is interesting. It was, let me see if I can find it. It was like LICPL, the number 8 and T. And I thought that was very interesting that she had license plate for a license plate. At least I picked up on that. But her car was found, and on the car was a sticker that stated, "If you see me, or if you see the car, please tow." But absolutely no sign of her or her dogs. And so Mr. S. Dubs and myself went up to the area just to kind of take a look around and see what we could see. And give me 1 second. I am not sure how to share my screen, so bear with me. I'm trying to figure out how to share my screen. Hey, Millie, how are you? Thank you for being the only one to show up right now. Hopefully we can get some more people to hop on. It's kind of boring when it's just two, right? I guess I have to get used to that, don't I? I'm trying to figure out how to share my mess. Can I do half the screen? I decided not to do my face because I didn't feel like putting makeup on. Isn't that hilarious? And her car was found right here in this little section. And so that I find a little bit interesting, is that she was found right here. And then this is as you enter into the park. And that is actually her missing poster on the board as you come in. So I found that very cool to see. I don't know if you got, I'm looking at the screen and I can't see that you are seeing my video. Can you see that, Melly? I can't see it. Shoot. Okay. This location that's right in here is, I believe, where her car was found, which is, I think, kind of pertinent to this. And then as you enter into the park, there's a pole to go in, and that pole has her missing persons poster on it. So that was kind of, I think, important to see how much of nothing is truly out in that area. I mean, miles and miles of trees, forest, and wildland. No road going the other direction. So the only way that she could have pulled in, I don't even know if that is something right there. It looks kind of different. And I didn't notice that before. But as you can see, it's just miles. And I have that location is pinged into the town of Strawberry, which is the closest town, at 10.9 miles away. So I thought that was kind of important to know. I thought it was really kind of interesting, to say the least. And so that was there. And there hasn't been a lot of coverage on this because, unfortunately, her family is sadly really not around. And so that makes it kind of sad. I don't know why I'm not going back up on the screen. That's really strange. So that is kind of the scoop on Yvonne and where she was. There's a lot more footage I can show. Let's see if I can show part of this. I'd like to get rid of going to kill the sound, and then I guess I'll just talk over it. But all of this is the road where she would have gone into if she decided to go hiking or camping or something. I'm going to go back just a quick second. This board, as you come in, also contained her missing persons poster. And so I thought that was kind of cool that they are highlighting her at almost every one of these directional boards that you can see. It was pretty nice and clear, but as you can see, there is just absolutely nothing for miles. It is a whole lot of space, and obviously with a bad leg, that's why I didn't walk it. I never saw the people for the car that's coming up right here. And I tried to actually pan away from the car because I thought it was a little bit intrusive. And then I thought, well, maybe I should have gotten all the person's information. But as you can see, there is just miles and miles of nothingness. So there I am. So that's kind of important to know, is she was literally in the middle of nowhere land. And so I thought that was kind of cool to find out. And I did do a lot of footage of where she could possibly be, but we let our dogs out in the area just to see if they could sniff something or to see if something was there. And our dogs did not even track a smell, anything. Like, they just did not look confused. They looked very comfortable. They were sniffing different, like other animals that maybe had gone to the bathroom out there, and they were checking that out. But that was just about it. And honestly, Tipsy, I've been wondering that myself, because she was about an hour from home, maybe an hour and a half, depending on how she drove. And these were 2-lane highways. I mean, you saw what that highway looked like when I filmed it. And it goes from Prescott Valley, where she lives, to where this spot was. And I mean, I couldn't give more of a warning to anybody. You have to be out of your mind to meet someone in the middle of nowhere on a first date. And so I don't know if the police, I didn't get a hold of anybody. It was they just don't like to answer questions. And they don't like to spill the beans on anything that's on an open investigation. So they don't like to talk about it. So they won't tell me if they have looked in her car, have pulled up her cell phone data. They won't disclose any of that. But I would think that if she did do a dating site or made a hookup or a meetup with somebody, that perhaps that person is on her phone somewhere. Like maybe she's been doing more than phone calls and whatever type of stuff. I mean, it makes no sense to me in this day and age where somebody would just go, yeah, I'll meet you in the middle of Timbuktu. Let's make our first date a hike. No, let's go get coffee. Let's go get lunch in town where people can see us. And maybe she drove separately after having lunch to this unknown location. I honestly couldn't tell you, but I find it very, very strange. And so there was that first case. And this is what I find very interesting. I'm trying to figure out how to share my screen, and I'm sucking at it. That is not what I wanted. Recently, I think it was yesterday, Nancy Grace did a great video on Chelsea Grimm. And I am going to actually show part of that video. I think everybody's heard of this story, but I'm not 100% positive. But just in case, I will play part of this clip. I find it kind of fascinating to hear. I mean, I love Nancy Grace. I'm one of those. But I want you to hear a little bit about what the updates are for Chelsea Grimm. It's actually pronounced Kaibab, not Kaibub, which is interesting that they mispronounced it. And with the car, there's different versions of were the tires flat or were the tires, oh, you can't hear it? Oh, shoot. The volume's up. That's interesting. Okay, hang tight. Can't figure it out. It should be playing and it should have sound. Try the settings. Oh, that's just the settings for my own camera that I don't have on today. All right, let me see if I can get it to play better. You can see everything on my screen. That's too funny. Could you hear that clip as I was playing that one, even though I didn't have it on the screen right? I don't know why you can't hear it, because I can hear it perfectly. Oh, you could. Oh, no, you still can't hear it? Shoot. What happens? Oh, no, that won't work either. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm trying to figure this out. It really gives you a new appreciation for all these creators and what they do. And now I just lost the entire Nancy Grace video. Gotta love it. Give me just a second to re-pull it up. It was this one. Oh, it's not sharing at all. Okay, let me know if you have sound now. So you still can't hear it? Basically what it's saying is that her car is found right off of Forest Service 6. And the interesting thing is this is Kaibab Forest, where Yvonne was missing in Coconino Forest. No, I might be wrong on that. Yvonne was in Yavapai County Forest area. She is in Kaibab Forest, and the third girl I'm going to talk about was actually missing in Coconino. And because it's 3 different Forest Services, I don't think they're talking. Do you still not have sound of me either? Do you still not have sound of me? You can hear me? Okay. So the Nancy Grace special was just talking about how she was driving the SUV. Nancy goes into the tires were slashed, and the other person had stated that the tires were just flat. And so I don't know if they were slashed intentionally or if the tires went flat because she drove over something. From what I hear, the area itself has quite a few. I mean, if you don't have the appropriate tires on your car, you could easily get a flat. There are things out there that will poke the heck out of your tires. I mean, as you saw what we were driving around in, it's got beefy, huge tires, and we were kicking rocks all day long. So there's that. I got to figure out how to get the sound in there. I find it weird that I can't get my sound. And I'm also trying to find the maps that I had done. If I do this, maybe you can see me. I have to share the screen first. Okay. So I'm going to bring up a map when I haven't gone into the third person yet. But here's map time because I love map time. This is Ashfork, and this is where Chelsea Grimm and her car was found, but it was up here off of the Forest Service in the middle of Timbuktu. Way over here, Prescott Valley is here. So you would just drive south, and that's like an hour's drive, maybe 45 minutes, depending on how fast you drive. And then you would take Highway 169 to 260, and you would end up right over here. And this location, oops, let me bring that back up. Oop, now my pin moved. This location right here, that's the 10 miles to any part of anything. And then it would be farther from here. And we took the backway highway and came out up above it. So that 144 goes through all of this and then comes down, and you meet up with Highway 87 and come back down to Strawberry. And so that was kind of interesting. Chelsea went missing last year in October. And before I get off of this page, Seligman is where the third young lady went missing. So let me pull up my information on all of them, and then I will share that with you. Chelsea. Chelsea Grimm is actually from California, somewhere down near San Diego area. And she was going to attend a wedding in Connecticut, but decided she couldn't drive that far. I would think that before you did something like that, you would also map it out, but what do I know? And she wanted to fly there, but she couldn't because the airlines wouldn't let her take her bearded dragon. So, bearded dragons can't stay for more than a couple days alone, I guess. I think that's kind of interesting. And so on September 24th, she left San Diego. And on the 27th, she made it to Phoenix. Just so you're aware, San Diego to Phoenix is approximately a 6-hour drive for a normal person. I can do it in a little bit faster, but I have a lead foot. So to take 3 days to get there, she would have, in theory, she would have come across what's called Highway 8. And Highway 8 goes through a town called Yuma, and it borders the Mexico border for a good couple hours. Yuma is considered the armpit of Arizona, and I'm sorry if you're from Yuma, but I don't think it's that nice of a town. There are a few cool things to visit there because there is like an old army base, and so there's a lot of historical information. But from Yuma to an actual let's go down to Mexico entrance, it's about 10 or 15 minutes. And so you can be in I can't think of the border town that's right there. But you can be in this little border town that heads straight down to Rocky Point. If you've never heard of Puerto Penasco, it's like a 4 to 5 hour drive straight down there, and you're in this beautiful beach cove in Mexico. And some people say it's very safe, and other people are scared to go there. So to take 3 days to get on a drive that should have taken 6 hours just seems a little off to me. She was supposed to meet with her friend on the 28th, and for some reason she called her friend and said, I can't come. And that's when she ended up in Williams, Arizona, which is just south of the location where she was found. And she had done her video filming. She was a photographer, like a fun photographer, and liked to do things. And she had done this filming of a lost soldier. And I guess it made her very emotional. And someone had called her car in and as reported as sitting there, and it was suspicious. So an officer caught her on body cam footage and interviewed her and said that she was fine. He spent about 10 minutes talking to her and she was okay, but she was very emotional and said, I just don't want to drive with tears in my eyes. It's not a very smart idea. And so the officer let her go and then suggested to her to spend the night, because she goes, I was just thinking about camping in the area for the night. And he goes, well, it's not very safe out here. So even he said it wasn't very safe. Consider going to the Love's Travel Stop that's right on the way. And it's in a gas station. Nobody will bother you. And it's safer because you're under a lot of lights and there's cameras on you. From what I understand from the private investigator, she never went to the Love's Travel Stop. And then a woodcutter saw her on the 30th, just off of that Forest Service road. And right, I'd be out of there too. I'm sorry, but I'd gone too. But and you guys know I pack a pew with me everywhere I go. And so I'd be sleeping with that thing in my hand, ready to take somebody out. I don't know if she did that. I do know that she was 420 friendly. And that may have been an issue that she was altered, but the officer that saw her did not feel that she was altered. And then they saw her SUV on September 30th, somebody that was a woodcutter. And I've heard multiple stories that it was a woodcutter and his son. And so they've interviewed them and they appear clean and normal, and that it was just, they were out there cutting wood. Now you can get permits to cut like down a tree. They mark certain trees that are okay to take down, and you down the tree, and then you get a year's worth of firewood that you have cut, split, everything for your winters up there. And winters up in that area are significantly colder than where I am. They actually do see snow. Tipsy, her ex, yes, he is questionable. And I know he's, I think, doing more than just 420, but that's my opinion. I can't say one way or another. But they have confirmed he was nowhere near the area until after she was reported missing. And he did go to the area afterwards to go look for her and had no luck finding her. And I don't understand, if you go get lost and you're in the middle of nowhere, why would you not at least take your phone with you? And I guess maybe she figured she had no service, and why bother taking it? But I'd be too afraid to leave it, because I'd be afraid somebody'd steal it out of my car. Or that's a reason to break into someone's car. So I don't know. And the woodcutter said at the time he saw her on the 30th, her tires were fine and she was absolutely fine, and said that she was just exploring the area. And then from the 30th of September to October 4th, nobody heard from her, and her parents reported her missing on October 4th. So on the 4th, her SUV was located in a very rural area. I mean, it's off a fire service road, kind of like the video that I pictured or I took, in the middle of nowhere, but it's a little bit drier because that's a little more desert-ish, or what they'd call high desert. And there's different reports of 2 flat tires versus 2 slash tires. So I don't know how bad it was. I know that we all carry 1 spare, but once you get 2 flats, what do you do? I don't know how people are about changing their own flats, but if I was desperate, I'd change my own flat tire. And then when the woodcutter came, I'd say, hey, I need a little help getting this bolt. I can't quite break the bolt free, and I'd get their help. So I just find it interesting. And ever since then, nobody's seen her. And she was miles from anything or anyone. Miles. And do you just hike it out? I mean, she was in shape to hike it out. I'm not going to lie about that, but I just find it very, very interesting, to say the least. So I think that's kind of different, but that's the information on Chelsea that I have. And it's Timbuktu. It is truly Timbuktu. So it's just, I don't know. I find it very odd. And now I'm going to give you some information on Shayna. Shayna's last name is Feinmann. I think it's fine. It might be Feinmann. And she went missing in Yavapai County with her dog named Stormy. And her dog looked like it's a medium to large size dog, like a pitty mix of sorts. So on March 9th in 2024, and they do have a $10,000 reward, but nobody's coming up with anything. But if you have credible information on Shayna's disappearance, she's 35 years old, and it was a rural property again between Seligman and Peach Springs. And she was living at some sort of camp site on 40 acres. And she was last seen March 9th. She was supposed to be heading into the woods, and she left her car, her dog, her camping gear, her wallet, and her passport all behind. She's a white female, 5'4", about 140 pounds, green eyes, brown hair. She was last seen wearing a hoodie, sweatpants, athletic type shorts over them, and green hiking boots. She has a sister named Kara, and Kara is, well, she said Shayna is originally from Northern Carolina and then moved to Arizona in 2022. So she's only here a year and a half, maybe 2 years, and she wanted to get out of the North Carolina city life. And there is a story that's, I'm afraid to try and play it because I don't know if we can, if you guys will hear it, but there is a clip. See if I can. See if you'll hear this one. Maybe Nancy Grace mutes all her stuff. I don't know. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, tell me if you guys can hear this one. Okay, hopefully. Interesting. I do not know why you can't hear, but at least you have a good idea of what she looks like. And I find her situation just very, very odd. And from what I understand, she would never leave her dog, which, if you guys know me, you know that I never leave my dog. And her sister said that she had some sort of an argument with her landlord, went off into the woods behind the landlord's home, and was never seen again. So I just find it very, very weird to see that all three of these ladies have gone missing from very similar locations. I mean, they are seriously within an hour of each other each direction. The thing that's different about Yvonne is that she's 66 instead of 35. And that's kind of an interesting concept. I mean, does it matter age when it comes to someone who's just a jerk and wants to take people out? I wish I could tell you the answer to that, but I don't know the answer. And now I'm trying to figure out how I can put all three of their photos up on the screen. Sorry. One of these days I will figure out how to work all this Streamlabs stuff. It is so stinking confusing, to be straight honest. Is it behind there? No. Oh, there it is. There's my Streamlabs. I found it. Yay. But I find it really, really strange that all three of them are missing. And if it doesn't make sense to you, then I'm not alone. And when I say that, I'm like, well, how do people just go missing? Like, why do they just vanish? And then how do the police find it okay to say, they just decided to go off on their own and let's not bother to look for them? That's what I don't understand. Who just goes off and says, I'm going to vanish? It can't be every last one of these people, if that makes any sense to you. I mean, that's what I find so odd. And, you know, I go out all the time alone and it doesn't faze me. I'll take my truck and go, and I've never felt unsafe. I've never felt uneasy. So I just don't understand it. But I think these three women deserve attention. They deserve to be found. They deserve to be looked for. And because, like Chelsea Grimm, it's been since last September, she's kind of fallen off October. She's fallen off the grid. I rarely, if at all, heard about Shayna. I think I heard about her for a week and then everybody let it go. And as far as Yvonne goes, I might be the only one that was up there. I mean, you saw how many people were not out there. But with Yvonne, at least every little town and every place that we went to, her flyers were all over. And people were very, very friendly, a little bit more old school. Okay, barking dogs. Sorry. A little bit more old school in that they're not your big city, bustling cities. They were small towns. And they had a lot of personality and a lot of charisma and things that you just don't see where I live now in the big city. But it was really fun to go there. And then I had flyers and I just took them every place that we went. And then just in case, I went to the Humane Society that was there. And the Humane Society had not heard about her or her 2 dogs. And so I left them a flyer and they were happy to have it. And they said, we don't remember these dogs and we know every dog that comes in here. So they said that nobody had brought them in unattended. Like, oh, we found them in the middle of the forest. And as far as Shayna's dog, her friend still has her and has not given her up and is taking care of her till Shayna's found. And nobody has found the bearded dragon that was with Chelsea. Not that, unless that bearded dragon ran over your foot, you would never see them hiding. And there are so many bugs and stuff that they would eat out there. But the problem with the bearded dragon, where she was in October, winter came, snow came, and trust me, bearded dragons do not do well in the cold. They need to have like enclosed containers and they love the heat. My daughter used to have one and she'd put it on the dashboard of the car when we drove places. And that thing just loved to be sitting in the sun all day. So I couldn't stand it because it was a creepy crawler thing, but I had to give it those stupid crickets, and you had to get baby crickets, and then you had to get bigger crickets that got older. And then you had to go to what they called pinkies, which are baby mice. Ugh. It was disgusting. No, thank you. But I think it's really important to keep to keep their names out there, keep their faces out there. I'll do a quick short afterwards with their pictures and their information so that all 3 of them are put together in one place so that we can see it all together and see how close together they actually were. And I don't know if criminals who want to abduct people care about looks, age, shape. I think criminals are criminals, but I could be wrong. Maybe they do have a type. But you understand what I'm saying when I say it just seems to be strange. And so I wanted to make sure that we highlighted on some not so current cases and, bring them back up to the forefront and remember that they too are missing and somebody's family has no answers. I mean, all 3 of these people have family and the family is going, where are they? And I'm sorry, but I cannot imagine. And Kara, I'm so sorry that you lost your husband. But I will tell you that you need to learn to leave the house. You need to get out every once in a while and just take little trips and then do other things and stuff like that. It's a heartbreaker. I know, because if I lost Mr. S. Dubs right now, I'd be an absolute wreck. Everybody who knows me knows I talk about him all the time, and he's actually an amazing person. And when you find Mr. Right, you do not leave Mr. Right. You keep Mr. Right next to you at all times. So, but that's what I have for today. I really, really appreciate you guys hitting the like button. I appreciate you subscribing to my channel, and then make sure you set your notifications to all. And I will do a better job about, okay, I'm going to go live and try and give you guys a time. I was just trying to put all my ducks in a row, and then I still couldn't get the sound to work. So who knows? I do have a keeper. Any husband who will put up with 20 surgeries over the last 20 years is a keeper. And trust me, he's washed my back and he's gotten me on and off the toilet during all of them. It's true love when you will take care of each other like that. I mean, sorry, but it is true love. And I had a couple of douchebags before him, so I'll take true love any day. So, and he's willing to like, hey, let's go up and check out where this missing person went. Okay, let's go. And he drove all over and took me everywhere. So, he's kind of curious about why I'm doing this and what I'm doing. And, he knows I'll rescue cats, I'll rescue dogs. And I guess he sees that I've taken it to the next level. I want to rescue humans. I, for the life of me, do not understand why people just vanish. They can't possibly just vanish. Hi, kitten. Nice to see you. It's just, I can't imagine how the family gets through it. To be real, straight, honest, I can't imagine. And so I pray for all these people. I wish them peace and closure. I mean, to me, finding your loved one, no matter what, I would rather find them than have the answer than be wondering day in and day out, where are they? Are they going to walk through that door right now? Or you know how they always say that we have a doppelganger, like somebody that looks like us? When someone says, oh, wow, I was at a restaurant just down the street and I saw a girl that looked just like you. You weren't at both places? I mean, that's an interesting eye-opener to me is, should I drive down there and go see who that person is and see if they really do look like them? And the other part is when they think they see the person, why don't they take a picture? Why don't they call 911? I don't understand. So I want to understand, and I want to, I don't know, maybe climb into their minds, but I don't, because I don't want to vanish. I mean, I had a long talk with my hubby and I said, if I just disappear and I haven't told you that's my intention, I mean, I'd call you just inside of a cell phone area and say, I don't want to be found. I've decided to just go off grid. I'm done. He'd know exactly what that meant, but I would tell him I'm never coming home. I would not vanish. So because I guess I wouldn't just vanish, I have a hard time believing everybody else would just vanish. I don't know if any of that makes sense to you guys, but I want you guys to just keep looking, keep your eyes peeled, and keep looking for them. Never stop till we bring them all home. So that's where I'm going to leave this today. Y'all have a great day. Peace to you. And happy Sunday. Or is today Saturday? Just kidding. I think today is Saturday. I'm lost. Who knows? Yeah. If I disappear, I had no choice. There's something fishy going on if I disappear. Now, when I tell people I'm just going to go vanish for a day, that means I'm off driving my stupid Jeep and having a good old time. But that doesn't mean I'm not coming home. I come home. Make sure you come home too, because I don't want to be doing a report on you. All right, you guys, have a beautiful day. Make it count. Do something positive today. Love ya. Bye.